a good friend of mine, Al Abrams, wrote a book called Hype and Soul, and he was the first full-time employee at Motown Records, and so it's the story of his life. And he was there, during the 60s and 70s when Motown was, breaking all the big acts, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, and he's actually Jewish, and he was the first full-time employee at Motown Records. Story of his life, Hype and Soul, behind the scene of Motown's Al Abrams. Check it out.
The book on my nightstand right now is Marianne and Autumn by Armistead Maupin. I love the Tales of the City series. It really nurtured me through the 70s and beyond, and so I'm so excited that as a 56-year-old San Franciscan that I can read about some of the 60-somethings living in Tales of the City.
The book that's on my nightstand is Michael Krasny's Spiritual Envy. It's a book about trying to explore, like, if you've had religion in your life, but now you've become agnostic. How do you develop your sense of morality? How do you develop your sense of place in the world? Very existential.
Right now, the book that's on my nightstand is Llama Llama Red Pajama, because we just did Read for the Record with my 4-year-old daughter, Isabella. And we were at the public library yesterday, and most of the books actually on my nightstand are books for my kids. So it's quite common that the books that are there are books for them, like Hungry Caterpillar or various books about Dora, and a variety of Dora books, as well as the Boynton books, like Green Hat, Red Hat. So it's quite often that we're reading all those books to her, or Goodnight Moon, things like that. Those are our most popular books.
The book that is on my nightstand right now is a book called The Triumph of the Cities by Professor Edward Glaser, and his thesis is that the modern invention of urban cities is one of the greatest things that has happened to mankind, that cities, contrary to popular opinion, actually help to improve people's health, improve people's wealth, is actually a greener way for people to live together, and it's actually a fascinating set of new ideas in how we think about how cities ought to grow. And as someone who is helping to govern a city, it's a set of ideas that I'm really fascinated by.
The book that is on my nightstand is a book called Cooking with Grease, Stirring the Pots in America by Donna Brazil. She had just been in town and spoke about the book, and it's a book about, particularly about why it's important for women to go into leadership positions in government. And so it's very apropos for the time period.
Well, several years ago, I led a delegation of legislators to the birthplace of Confucius. And as you know, Confucius is a rather important figure in the life of us Chinese Americans and Chinese in general. And the government of Chifu, which is the birthplace of Confucius, gave me a book on Confucius. As you can imagine, it is a pretty big book, and I have been trying to read that book, and so that's in my nightstand.
Probably a book that's very hard to get in this country. I picked it up over in Ireland. It's called Their Darkest Hour by Lawrence Rees. And it's an interesting book. It's about people in the last World War that went through very, very trying times, standing up for their principle. Different short stories within the book. Very interesting book.
Well, I think the more accurate question is what is on the top of the pile of books that are on my nightstand right now. I have a bad habit, I guess. I pile them up, right? And my wife always comments on, are you ever going to get to that one or this one? So the one on the top, there's two on the top, which I've sort of gone to. The Promise by Jonathan Alter, and then there's another one, Nixonland, which is a great book, another pretty dense book, but I pick up and do bits and pieces of it right now, and those are the two that are on the top of the stand right now.